Welcome to the First Meal Podcast. We are your hosts. My name's Lacey.
And I'm Daphne.
And today we're getting into part 2 of motherhood.
So we're going to jump right into motherhood and that journey. We spoke a little bit on the last episode of fertility, IVF, all that fun stuff in that journey. And we're going to dive right in. I'm going to have Lisette take it away with motherhood and her experience before postpartum and what that looked like.
But before we go into my story, I would like us to point out our smoothie. What's your smoothie?
I have something weird in it, and I feel like I'm going to get judged.
Oh my God, did you put your placenta in it?
Oh, no, I didn't even take that home with me.
You were the one who told me about the pill that you can make, and I was like...
I know, then I told you I felt convicted.
You said what?
I told you I felt convicted, remember?
Because you were eating placenta?
Yes.
So,
Another story.
Now I need to know why, but tell us what's in your smoothie, and then we'll go back to the placenta.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in postpartum. Okay. So in my smoothie, it's bananas, kale, strawberries, blueberries, mango, coconut milk, and I add honey to all my smoothies. Am I going to be judged for that?
That's not weird. That's just a natural sweetener.
Every time I tell somebody that I add honey, they say that's great.
I don't think that's weird.
Thank you.
That's good.
Love you.
Well, I have what do I have? I have soy milk because it has more protein. In 8 ounces, there's like 8 grams. So
Good.
Yeah, so soy milk. I have just one of those variety pack of tropical organic like fruit.
Mhm.
It has strawberries and mangoes and pineapples, and I also add chia seeds because it helps with joint health. And
Yes.
Yeah, and I have a lot of joint issues. And then I also put protein powder, and if I had spinach, I would also put that, but I did not. And if I had collagen, but I just ran out, I would also put that. Because
I
also
need
helps with
that.
joints.
I need that.
It's really good for postpartum.
Yeah.
Some collagen. It helps with the hair loss issue.
Mhm.
Once again, it helps with joints. After I gave birth, I obviously gained a lot of weight during pregnancy. So since all the weight is sitting on my joints, I had a lot of issues. And then I already have family health things
Yeah.
with joints. So collagen is really good. I recommend it for anyone who's going through any of those things. Yeah. And other than that, it helps with like your hair length. I was talking to somebody the other day. They were taking collagen and their hair literally grew 5 inches in a month. So
Wow.
yeah.
I need that.
Do it.
I knew that. I
Your
knew that.
hair's so long.
It's long, but I am experiencing postpartum hair loss. Like, you probably can't tell, but I can. Like right here. I've always had thin hair, so I know like when my hair is even thinner. So yeah, I'm experiencing it, and I just feel like if I go like this, like I'm gonna have so much like strands of hair. I even washed my hair today, and
a lot of hair.
A lot. But it's to be expected. So I'm gonna get collagen.
Get the Vital one. It has no taste and it like blends into anything really nicely.
Okay. I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
Because I need help. Yeah.
How many months postpartum are you again?
I am fat.
That makes sense. Around 3 to 5 is when people start losing their hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was gonna get it, but it definitely hit me like last month. And then I spoke to my boss and she's like, yeah, you're still in the time frame, so it's to be expected. Yeah.
I didn't think I was getting a hit either because I've always lost a lot of hair.
Mhm.
Like I literally always grab chunks, but I have a lot of hair. But when I saw those bald spots, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. And then also too, because we'll speak about it later, a little bit later on, more in detail, but my gallbladder surgery too, I heard when you take out your gallbladder, it affects like a lot of things, but mainly hair growth. So it was just like double whammy for me with postpartum and gallbladder issues.
And which is common, right? Gallbladder, having to take it out after the fact or maybe even during pregnancy.
Yeah, very common with pregnancy.
No, when you told me you had to take out your gallbladder, I was like having conversations with other ladies who got pregnant around the same time that we did, and like I think 2 out of 3 of them also had gallbladder issues.
Yeah,
they were saying how they had to take it out, and I know you went through a lot of dietary things that you have to go through after or before leading up to the surgery.
Yes, which I'm back on. I started it today. I started it for health reasons.
You need to tell us, because Daph, like, she was stricter than I've ever seen her with diet. You need to tell us, like, what are the parameters that you follow when having gallbladder issues, or in your case now, just for health reasons.
Yeah. Want to talk about it now? Okay, really quickly, because I want you to talk about it. But really fast, I was on due to gallbladder issues, so I was having severe gallbladder attacks and pancreatic attacks. Which feel like a heart attack. I'm not being dramatic. They are equivalent to a heart attack. And every time I was going through one, I kept screaming, I'm catching a heart attack. Ambulance came, all that stuff. It's the most, I would rather have 1,000 C-sections. I would rather go through IVF. I would rather be punched in the face 1,000 times than to have that. I don't wish that on
Punched
anyone.
in your face?
In my face. The pain was like, it's unbearable, like unbearable. So yeah. So just so I wouldn't get any attacks or trigger any issues until I was getting my gallbladder surgery, I was on a low fat, no sugar or really, really low sugar diet, no dairy, gluten free. So I would have, if you want to follow it, because I've had people that ask me how I lost so much weight postpartum or how I was able to kind of proportionize my weight. I lost a lot in my midsection quickly. And midsection, double chin. If it's not hereditary, mine is hereditary, but it could get worse if your diet's off. So, like I said, I gave people this diet that I followed. You want to stay under 3 grams of fat. You'd be surprised the amount of fat that is in things. So if you're ever looking at the back, the total fat, you want to stay 3 grams and under. Sugar, you want to stay over 5 grams and under, which isn't bad. But no soda, no things like that. And then gluten-free. There's gluten-free pizza. Like I had Andy's birthday party. I had gluten-free pizza with no cheese, just tomato or vegan cheese. So it's pretty basic. That's just the main part. Fat and sugar, you want to stay under. And then everything else kind of gluten and vegan. You can have meat though, only chicken and fish. No,
yeah. And I would assume because of the gluten, like, and everything else, just anti-inflammatory seems like completely. So even when she would literally, I mean, as far as I see, you were eating normal proportions and everything just looked thin, could just because the inflammation was down.
Yeah, it's doable, guys. Like I learned so much in the process that people live like that normally. It's just that, culture, society, our age, we're so used to just snacking and fast food. It's hard, I'm not gonna lie, because everybody else around you is still continuing the way that they're eating, which is fine, but it's doable. Like I felt great. I wanted to continue. I haven't continued after my gallbladder surgery, unfortunately, but I feel up. I gained and then when you have your gallbladder out, whoever does, you gain weight faster than anybody else because you lost your filtration system.
Really?
So, yes. So I gained 5 pounds already from my gallbladder surgery, which is a lot to me because I worked so hard to lose that. So, and the 5 pounds goes to areas I don't want here, face, stomach. It's going to my thighs, which I don't mind because weight just goes there. But, I'm trying to maintain. So if you want to do it, do it. Even if you do it for like a month or two, you're going to see a difference. You're going to feel better. Yeah. And water. No juices.
Water.
No juices, no soda.
I actually like having lots of water. Like that's just a natural detoxant. Is that a word? Detoxant?
To us it is. I understand what you're saying.
Thank you. It's a natural detox. I think that's water literally changes your lives. You guys I think it's ounce of water per pound.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or 3 liters. If you're not as active, you don't need to drink as much.
Yeah.
And that like washes you out.
Yeah. I think it's like depending on your BMI, it's like 10 to 12 8-ounce cups. But if you're like active, you need more, something like that. Just listen to your body, people. It tells you if you have a headache or you're feeling dizzy or you're feeling thin, you probably just need water.
For real. If sometimes when you're hungry, like you literally are just thirsty.
Yeah.
You need water.
Yeah. All right. So that was my diet tip of the day. And where trainer everybody.
Bruh, no, I'm really mad that you didn't get pregnant before me just so I could know the hack with the waist trainer. Because I was out here, guys. The waist trainer is literally game changing.
Yes, yeah. And let me be specific because I told Lisa I wanted to share my things because I get this question a lot, like how did I lose weight? And I'm honest with you guys that I didn't mean to do that. I was gonna go through postpartum and be like, lose the weight, whatever, but I kind of got pushed into it, which I'm happy about. You need a specific waist trainer, and it's a C-section waist trainer. You can wear it even if you didn't get a C-section. I have friends that wear it. It's just to like bring your muscles back together, kind of form them. Your intestines just like we're all over the place. So I specifically
like separated, so like brings them together.
Yeah, that's what really helped. Really make my waist look really itty bitty. Because I wear that faithfully. I take breaks now because after my gallbladder surgery, it hurts. I feel like there's like a space there and it like squeezes too tight. That's a tip. Wear it. You don't have to wear it if you feel like you're passing out. It's too tight. I definitely felt like wheezy sometimes. And I would just loosen it a little bit. But if you're home, just put it on. It's on Amazon. It's probably like $25, maybe less.
Yeah. We will be linking that below because literally game change.
I know you guys might hear my baby in the background. She's fine, I promise. She doesn't want to go to sleep.
She's like, Mama, night bird.
No, I know. I usually put her to sleep, so she's probably like, why is that forcing me to watch Bible stories right now? So we're gonna jump right in to Lisette's experience in finding out she was pregnant, her journey in pregnancy, and all the fun stuff. I'm gonna have you take it away. How'd you find out?
So I just want to say, first and foremost, I'm not saying my baby was a mistake. And I know that's like, I want to say, if you're doing the do, then you're always trying. That's all I'm gonna say. But
Yeah.
especially if you're doing the do, even if you have protection, like things happen and whatever. But what I want to say with that is that like Ethan my husband and I, we always thought we would get pregnant around 27. No particular reason, but we were just not being. So when I found out I was pregnant, I'm a very regular person. I'm always either early, never late, or right on time.
Yeah.
So I was literally like a day late for my period. I was like, what? And then I was getting all of the same symptoms. Like PMS is basically the same symptoms as early pregnancy symptoms. So I was like, okay, I'm having PMS, but where is my period?
Yeah.
So I remember telling Ethan, like, I don't know. And he literally just said silent the rest of the day. We went to Wendy's that day with my brother. We just hopped in the car to get Wendy's, and he was silent. And my brother was like, what's wrong with him? And I'm just like, he's just stressed about life. It's just life. So see how he was just in distress. He was distraught. I was like, I'm going to go and I'm going to get a test. And I'm going to tell him, because girls like the drama. I'm going to tell him I didn't find the test. And I'm going to take that test without him knowing. And I'm just going to like ingest this myself before I find out if I'm pregnant or not. So like I went to CVS. I like put it in my shirt. And I was like, yeah, it wasn't there. And I just like ran to the bathroom. And then I took my test and it was pregnant. And like, even though I wasn't trying, guys, like I've always wanted to be a mom. So I was so excited. That same night, I was like, I try to be cutesy about it. I like put a little sign with my big dog Klaus. He's technically a little brother, but the little sign said big brother. I didn't have a B, so it said Ruther, like big Ruther.
We get.
Yeah. So Ethan can't. I think I have a video of this, but Ethan came in.
We should show videos that in one.
It's not going to be the best quality, but here you go. He was just like, he literally like too stunned to speak. Like he took a step back. He's like, are you pregnant? And then when the video cut off after he left the room, after I told him I was pregnant, we just sat there like, whoa, that's crazy.
And you're like, I don't know how to feel about that.
I want to say, even though that we were like surprised, we weren't really surprised. A month or so before, someone prophesied that I was going to get pregnant and they told me to pray over my womb. And I was like, I was excited. I was like, but really though? And I was like, yeah.
You felt it.
And my mom, moms always having dreams. Once they have a dream, like she just had a dream the other day and she swears. But she swears. This is not my announcement that I'm pregnant right now, guys. But she swears that it's going to happen soon. I don't know. I think she just wants it too bad, She wants another baby.
Yeah.
But yeah, a month before, someone prophesied over me and said that I was going to get pregnant. And they told me it was going to be a girl. And they gave me her Poppy's life story before she came. And I was like, yeah. I would say though, like being pregnant, that was like a beast in itself. I wanted so badly to be the pregnant woman who just works out and like with their cute little tummy and
yeah.
I could not, guys. I was nauseous. I was dizzy. Really wanted to live.
Yeah. No, you were trying. You were pushing yourself. You were doing good.
It was difficult because I went from, many people know, like I've always worked out. I've always been active. I've always been on my own schedule. I like to be in control. Like I control what my body does and when it does it. And when you're pregnant, that's just not the reality. There's no control. Your body is telling you what it needs. You can't ignore it. Like when it needs to rest, it needs to rest. When it needs to sit, it needs to sit. If you need to stay home from work, you need to stay home from work because then you're like me who tries to force your body and then you're just at work like I can't even move.
Yeah.
So that was like a wake-up call.
Yeah.
But I guess other wake up calls too is that, first of all, I think we got pregnant maybe 3 years into our marriage. Anytime that you're like blending lives together and like trying to get over what you learn or just things that used to serve you in not married life versus married life that does not work for you, it's difficult. So trying to literally navigate early marriage and just not feeling well. I was 23 when I got pregnant, and I mean, I was very blessed. I mean, I had a home, I had a good job, like we were fine. But because of all like those little, what felt like major stressors in my life, I was just not, I was happy, but I wasn't happy. I was like not really finding joy in pregnancy because I was just like stressed about so many other things.
Yeah.
And that was really difficult. And I felt really bad for my little seed pea comes like, I want to be so happy for you. But, like, I'm focusing on everything else. And that's when God had to step in again and literally tell me during pregnancy, from now on, you're going to be joyful. From now on, you're not going to worry about anything. From now on, like this seed in you, this is the start of your legacy.
Yeah.
And she's going to bring so much to you. So that was brought me through. And literally from then on, I was joyful and I was looking forward to her, and I felt so much more connected with her. And knowing that God like saw her before I even can think of her, like it brought me so much happiness.
Yeah.
So pregnancy, man, a lot. But other than that, like, bruh, I never wanted to be pregnant again. I'll tell you that much. I was pregnant and I was like, yeah, I don't think I want another baby. It's rough.
Yeah.
And for I know people who have amazing pregnancies.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was not me, but we still kept it going.
So I know, obviously, I know they probably don't know that you live in Jersey, but you were traveling to New York to Dr. Moses, my boss, my friend, for your OB care. What did that look like for you? Because that's hard with your whole transition and everything, your emotions, all that, working from home, trying to, maintain a job. What was that all for you?
Well, the reason why I ended up traveling to DAF is because the first OB I tried in New Jersey, I just felt like I wasn't taken care of. I felt like I wasn't heard. It's literally so important for me. Like, and this might be controversial, but I want my doctor to be either always female and a person diverse. And why is that? Because, I mean, you look at the studies, you cannot believe me if you don't, but there are actual studies out there that show that women of color are not taken as seriously in hospital settings.
Yeah. And I want to tag in on that. Even Dr. Moses knew, like, she's such a good doctor because she knew that making minorities, colored people priorities because of statistics. Like it's a real thing. Like Melissa's talking about is a real thing that one, they don't always get the same care. And statistically, there's a higher rate of moms not making it, sadly, or having like some kind of form of issues in pregnancy or delivery that some doctors kind of oversee or treat everybody the same. There is based on like cultural things or like where your bloodline is, your family and your genetics that need specific like attention, like hypertension for colored people, hypertension, looking at certain genetics, looking at, a whole stream of things that need to be kind of focused on and not like brushed over. So she's so good with that stuff because she knew that was an issue for a lot of people.
No, and she really did make me feel special. But my problem with the doctors here was that when I first went in, first of all, I only know I'm pregnant because of a pregnancy test. Yeah. But those can be false, first of all. Secondly, it usually is verified by a blood test. Because what if it's like a chemical pregnancy? There's so many things that can be happening to me that moment. I could have lost my baby if I didn't have enough of some hormone or vitamin in that moment. But they didn't do any tests with me. They just kind of took it as is. They talked to me, but it wasn't really. I'm like, am I pregnant? They're like, yeah, the test says so. I'm like, okay, so what now? Oh, we have to wait a couple of weeks and we'll see. I'm like, but that's it? Yeah. Like, it just didn't feel personal. I'm like, I felt like more should have happened at this point. I felt kind of just a number, like, okay, I'm in, you're pregnant, that's it, get out. I'm like, okay. So I was talking to Daffy after that. I really just don't like my experience here. She was like, come over, like, see how you like it. Yeah. She's like, even when I get pregnant, I want to be with Dr. Moses. The back and forth, I think the round trip from my house to Dr. Moses and back was like 4 hours. Yeah. Yeah. I always used to go like either towards the end of work or so like around 4 I would have my appointment. It was rough, but like low key, like I got to leave work early. So
Wait, not to mention that you also like worked here a couple times towards the
yeah,
end.
I would come into the office, which helped me with my mental health, honestly. I would come to the office the days that I had to go to the doctor's appointment. So I finally got out of the house. I'm in this pregnancy slump, right? So I like finally got dressed and finally pulled myself together, had talked to people. So in that way, it was really positive. And like I said, Dr. Moses, she answered all my questions. She always followed up. I always felt special. Not that I like had to be proud because still my doctor, but I'm going through something special.
Yeah.
I want to feel
Yeah.
special. But no, I always felt taken care of. And that was point blank period. So I didn't mind the drive. Now, I don't know if I could, if I do in this next future pregnancy, I don't know if I can make that drive because
Yeah.
I didn't have a baby. Like, I can't take 5+ hours out of my day without a kid.
Yeah.
But I wish she was closer as
There you
well.
go.
But it was good. I really liked traveling. It was a lot, but it was good. And I always found out something new about what was happening with my baby, like what's happening with me, what are next steps. I got to hang out with Daphne. We would go out to eat afterwards. It was the best.
Yeah, yeah, because I would be there with her, and then sometimes you would stay even here with my doggies would keep her company because she had appointments.
Yeah. So I got to spend time with Kenzo and Gizzy. It's a mess. And I would like, I would always order my favorite. I had the best time, guys. Okay. There's nothing like New York food. So you're pregnant and you have all the food you want in the world around you. I would get tacos and some Chinese food. I was living life. Okay. Living your life right on that sofa. And then she would get me snacks. So I would just have snack in the, it was like, okay.
See, pregnancy wasn't that bad. When you think about it, when you think about like the special moments, it makes it like worth it.
Another thing I remember about pregnancy, I was really adamant that I did not want maternity clothes. Because if you know me, I'm not going to buy something that I'm only going to wear for a couple of months and then I'm never going to wear it.
Yeah.
But I regretted it because towards the end, I really had nothing to wear. Guys, I was wearing overalls, but I wasn't like, it wasn't even closed in the sides. So literally my belly was just all out. I was like,
I remember
it was just out.
I was like,
but
I got you maternity clothes, and you're like, nah, I'm not going to use them again. No.
every time I would see Dawn, she'd like, you sure you don't want me to buy you some pants? I'm like, no. There would be her in the Target. We see pants, don't buy them. Next time, now I'm thinking next time I'd probably do like a rent program, like like Newly or just so I can get clothes and then not have to like store them. I really don't like buying clothes that I know I'm not going to use the entire time. Like, what do you do with your pants?
I still have them because I'm crazy and want to have another baby. So
not crazy at all.
I did give some to my cousin because when I was about to deliver, she was pregnant. She actually just delivered she delivered 4th of July weekend. So I had given her like a lot of shirts and clothes. And
I like that though, because technically they're still going to be used. Like, so that's awesome.
Yeah. So I didn't want to throw them away because they were expensive. Maternity clothes are so expensive. I'm not going to say I don't know why, but I don't know why because it's crazy. But I definitely was a maternity clothes kind of girl.
Which makes sense because Dad like is a fashion. I can literally wear the same shirt like 3 days in a row. Like Dad likes to switch it up. She serves the looks. So I'm like, get it, girl. She was serving the looks pregnant. I was like, get it.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. She showed up to the house. Okay. I'm over here and I was in full Adam Sandler. Okay. She shows up in a cute little like tan bodysuit with the hat and like the gold. I'm like, period. I don't know who looks this beautiful pregnant, but she killed it. Okay. That's why you got maternity clothes and not the gold.
I was trying. Honestly, like doing makeup and everything makes me feel better, especially in pregnancy because I felt like I was just growing and I was like, I gotta get.
And that is another difficult part of pregnancy. Like literally growing to this person that you've never seen. And then everything gets, I don't know, this TMI weirdly dark. Like my, it this is gonna sound crazy, but my pits literally look. If I had like a little match, it would just go. It was so dark. I was like, what is happening?
No, it's a thing. It's a thing, especially in colored people. Like it's a thing. I don't know what it is. I think it's like skin pigmentation. But Dr. Moses kept reassuring me. I'm like, why? Like, what's going on? Something's wrong with me. I'm broken. And she would be like, no, silly. Like, it's normal. Like,
it's just pigmentation.
Yeah, it's just pigmentation and it goes away like after like a few weeks, sometimes months after postpartum. But yeah. It was normal.
No. Oh, they're weird. I'm just gonna expose myself in this one. But another, I always thought my belly button would pop out, like the cute little. It never popped out. I have the deepest belly button known alive. Like it just, I'm like, when is it gonna pop out? Never,
That's what
never.
I'm saying, because mine didn't fully. Mine didn't. And if I like moved a certain way, like if I like put, like this
A little
out,
pressure.
like it would, the top of it would try, but it would still be like in, like it.
A little pop out. Now I feel like it's just stretched out. Like, and I know that's normal. Not most women, like they have now that little, it's like a little dimple. I almost feel
Yeah.
like that's what my old belly button used to be. I don't even know. It's just like there.
Yeah, or sometimes I see like, well, because I see a lot of postpartum women, like the belly sometimes looks like a C, like it droops instead of being round, it droops now.
Mine droops a
Normal.
little. It's a little droopy.
I'm trying to remember why am I going to feel it right now? Mine didn't do so bad. You know what kind of messed me up a little bit? When
What?
my gallbladder, they sliced me right there, right on my belly button. So like I have a scar on my belly button, but it went back to kind of normal after postpartum.
Nah. What up? There's some weird things that happen during pregnancy.
Talk
I'm
about
trying
it.
to think.
Let's talk about it.
Yo, okay. So first of all, the stench.
And I don't want nobody judging, okay?
First of all, if you man, please exit the conversation.
Yeah, because
Not
we have guy followers.
because
The same for you.
judging. Like
Yeah.
you just have a baby where your whole body literally just shifted.
Yeah. You probably smell on a regular.
Period.
Yeah.
You
Go play
always stay.
basketball or something. You're not gonna smell
You always stay.
it.
Anyway, not both of us.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
Let's
no.
talk.
After I think in the third trimester is when I really just started oozing. Like hits gone. And, like sweat drenched. Like it was a situation. Like I had to keep an eye on it. Like I never before that I used to take like my deodorant around with me or like spray. I had to.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, that was me. We were talking, and it's funny because Lisa and I were talking about this before. We were like, "Oh no, we gotta save this. We gotta save this for the conversation because I don't know what happened to me in pregnancy. I don't know what happened to me, and it wasn't my first trimester at all. I was chilling in my first trimester, but that's probably because I wasn't eating much. I don't know if I mentioned the last time I had hyperemesis issues. Don't remember
You didn't even get into your pregnancy
at all. I feel like we did. We didn't.
No, we got into like IVF journey and like you finding out you were pregnant, but we still have yet to talk about what happened during your pregnancy.
Okay. Let's talk about stench first, though. Yes, first trimester didn't really have any like, odor problem, which guys, it's very normal in pregnancy to have an imbalance in odor. Okay. You are not supposed to smell the same. I don't care. Like your natural scent kind of goes bye-bye and your hormones are changing it. Okay. So if you say you smell like flowers, you don't sit here and lie.
You're in denial.
Yes, in denial. So, and like I said, if you're a guy, see your way out of this conversation.
Because you
Okay. Anywho, that was real. That was real hardcore.
I like that. I'm keeping that in. I'm telling you right now. And I'm just gonna pause it there.
They're gonna think we anti-men.
No. We're joking. Are you kidding?
We anti-smelly men. Okay.
I'm not
Anyways, all right. Sorry. Back on topic. Sorry. We're not. That's so mean. I'm kidding. Oh, okay. Back to stage. Okay. We smell like smelly men. Okay. It was that. Okay.
Yeah.
But my first trimester, like I said, I didn't because I wasn't eating much, and maybe that had something to do with it. But when that second trimester hit, talking about like 16 weeks, I don't know what was going on. And I'm very close to my coworkers that were like examining me and stuff, because we got no shame in our game. We would like just be like, check me. And they would be like, no, that's normal. And I'm like, nah, I know my smell. And sometimes this is what I'm saying. Sometimes it's just like everybody know. Well, I hope everybody's aware of their natural like scent. Some people aren't. I am. I'm very in tune with my natural, what's going on. And I knew that it just wasn't right. Something was not what I like. And like my job would tell me it's normal. And, the benefit of working in an OBGYN is when you feel like you've got issues, you test yourself whenever you feel like it, whether it's blood, whatever it is. So I'll be honest, I was testing myself and it was negative, nothing, no bacteria, no nothing. And I'm like, and they were like, hello, it's just your hormones just changing, like your scent, basically. I ain't like it. I don't know what was going on here. And like Andy would be like, it's normal, it's fine. He's like, I don't smell anything. I don't know. And then pregnancy nose.
That's what I was thinking too. Like I think first of all, pregnancy nose is crazy. I
I
smell
just
things
got
that
rid
I've
of it.
never smelled before. But I was like, maybe that's why too, because we're like January, because our nose are just like at
On
its
another
peak
level.
level
On
of
another level.
smelling. No,
Like it was bad, guys. I was taking, and maybe it was in my head because I swear I kept telling them, like I would tell my sisters, I'd be like, smell me, smell me, smell me, I smell. And they're like, no, you don't. And I'm like, yes, I do. I would take like 3 showers, sometimes 4 a day. Andy thought I was crazy. My parents thought I was crazy. But it just, I guess it was pregnancy. No, maybe I didn't. But I just knew at the end of the day, like we know our natural smell, and it just was
I
off
was
for
on
me.
like the different end of the spectrum. Like you said, it happened to you at 16 weeks. It happened to me at like I said, like my third trimester. So like I was telling Dad, like first of all, I said I was sick, guys. I was always dizzy. Like I always thought when I was pregnant. First of all, I know I'm going completely on a tangent here. I always thought when I was pregnant, I was gonna eat everything. Like if you know me, I like to eat. I thought I was gonna be eating everything. I was gonna pack up, bam, ice cream, bam. I was sick. I could not do it. If I got too full, like I would feel like I need to throw up, and then I would like be uncomfortable the entire night and not be able to sleep. So I was literally losing weight while pregnant, and it sucked.
Yeah.
But this is besides the point. Point is, in the beginning, I was so sick. I was telling that she was like, I was taking 3 showers a day. I was like, bruh, it would be like 3, 4 days. I have not taken a shower. I'm too tired to get out of this bed. It's hard enough that I need to work every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember during that time, someone posted like a little poll on Instagram. They were like, "How many times a week do you shower?" I was like, "Two."
After this, I need to know who posted that. Who were you honest with? After this.
Supposed that was whoever said less than 4. You dirty. I was like,
Oh my God, I hope she had grace with you because you were pregnant.
I don't even know. I never talked to her again. I was like, I did not want to get out of bed. I was tired. Like, I was so tired.
I understand.
I'm like to stand up in the shower for that long.
Yeah, I hear you. But I was in there. I'm not going. I was in there. I couldn't go to sleep.
There are 2 things. There's 3 defining things of me. I like to work out. Couldn't do that. I like to eat. Couldn't do that. I like to sleep. Couldn't do that. Couldn't do nothing. Okay. The one time
You
I
were mad,
slept,
tired. You were.
I wouldn't, yo, I'm always a tired person. Okay. I can go to sleep anywhere. I can be in the car. 1 minute later, I'm knocked out. Okay. I can be sitting on Daffy's couch and she's talking to me. She turns around and goes to something in the kitchen. I will be sleeping. Like, it was like 10 times worse in pregnancy, though. Like, I was tired. So now every time I'm tired, like, oh, am I? No, I'm just tired. But I'm just tired. But but anyway, third trimester, like it was oozing. I could not skip that shower. I and even now, I don't know if I still have like I now I call it just mom nose. Even now, I don't think I can even use natural deodorant anymore. Like it's just not. I can't. It did something to me. I try to detox my pins and then go for the natural deodorant. Still, I'm like, okay, I need to go back to the toxins
Yeah.
because that's the only thing that's holding me down.
Yeah. Yeah. I need deodorant. I'm not gonna say. Although, if I put glycolic acid,
That used to work for me. It doesn't work for me now.
yeah, well, it worked for me before pregnancy, and I stopped it during pregnancy. I just tried it recently, and it was okay, but I'm just so scarred from pregnancy that I don't be playing with myself. I got a deodorant in my purse. I got one in my car. I got one in my job. I don't care.
I got a mini travel size one. It's just there.
Oh no, I got the big jug. I got the big jug.
I be trying to be real cutesy, real mindful, just like
No, I be trying to be real out there, real honest, real careful, real careful.
I like that. I like that.
I know my lane. I know my lane. I was never demure, never real cutesy. Nah, I'm out there very honest, very real, very protective. Okay? No, ma'am. Not playing with y'all out here. I ain't playing with myself because I'll gag at myself. So I'm not trying to do that to nobody else.
Yeah, on myself. I was saying when you were pregnant, since I was so mindful of like the pregnancy notes, I was scared to stink. I'm like, man, she's probably scared. I was like, I need to take care of this from past because that pregnancy notes, it catches everything.
I love being pregnant. I'm not gonna lie. I loved every moment.
Okay. Now this is when Daphne tells us what happened when she was pregnant. because she is pregnancy blind, guys. You are so pregnancy blind.
I feel judged.
I'm sorry, but she was pregnancy blind, obviously, because so much leading to actually get pregnant. It is a major blessing. But please tell me, please walk us through your first trimester.
I don't feel like. Okay, let's get into it. All right, first trimester looked a little bit like hospital visits and
dehydration.
What else?
IV bags at home.
All right, are we being?
I'm sorry.
We giving it all. All right. I guess we go on there since she already ratted me out. So, okay, let's focus. All right, so it was a little rough in the beginning, but I'm still pregnancy blind because I'll do it again. I was still like on IVF medication. I think that kind of made it a little bit annoying because I was still on injections and stuff like that until I was about 10 to 12 weeks.
Really?
Those were.
You have to still take those, like,
own.
Okay.
Own. And this is why I want to side note something that you said when you said that you weren't being taken care of at the first location. You know, they didn't do a blood test. They didn't test if you needed any vitamins or something. That kind of upsets me for several reasons because somebody that I know, I'm not going to say their business, I think, because I won't wait for them to say it. But somebody that I've been able to kind of help in their journey, I was telling them based on their history, like, did your doctor give you progesterone with your history? Oh, no. I said, you got to tell your doctor that you need progesterone based on your history because no, they just did not think that was an option. And that's why it upsets me with you because in early pregnancy, you need an HCG. You need to test if the progesterone's good. I spoke about this a little bit on the last episode that progesterone is so important. And a lot of people are deficient in progesterone. Me being one of them, my pregnancy was not going to progress or continue unless I had a progesterone supplement. So just a side note, really, if you go that you're pregnant and you're at least over 5-6 weeks and they don't do a blood test on you, please find another doctor.
I was so appreciative. Going back to what we were saying before, I was so appreciative for Dr. Moses and like also you, like that person in the field. She was like my personal like nurse. I would call her for everything, even if I didn't want to call her. I'd be like she kept on top of me and stuff. She kept me in the know of these things. Like, how was I supposed to know about progesterone? How was I supposed to know about the testing I needed? How was I supposed to know any of these things if I'm not in the field? I've never been pregnant, you know? Everyone I knew who had been pregnant had been pregnant years ago. Don't even remember what's going on. So I was super appreciative for not offering knowledge. Take knowledge, because especially if you're not receiving like the care that you're supposed to be receiving, like these things you don't know until you know. So be your own advocate.
Yes, please. If you have last thing before I go continue, if you have a history of miscarriages and you're trying to get pregnant, tell them to check your progesterone. That could be the problem. It's so common in all the people that I'm speaking to now, ever since the IVF episode. It's literally a progesterone problem half the time. Not even half the time, more than half. So guys, find a doctor that cares for you. Don't go to a clinic or a place that's a rotating door. That's what we like to call it in the medical field, a rotating door where you're just like the next person. So find a good doctor. If you don't have one, please reach out. If you're in New York or New Jersey, Dr. Moses is amazing. Okay, so what was I saying? So yeah, the beginning of that, I was on progesterone injections. That was the most painful part about everything. And then once I got off of that, I started feeling super, super, super sick. I think it was during my injections, probably. I wasn't able to eat. I didn't have any appetite. I was super dehydrated. I just couldn't keep anything down. The sight of a toothbrush, actually to the ending of my pregnancy with that one, the sight of a toothbrush.
No, I was literally like brushing teeth, throw up, brushing my teeth again. Like It was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad.
I personally don't like toothpaste on a regular. I don't like minty stuff. And when that mint touched my mouth, bad.
There's something different. I don't know if it was in my head, but like anything that I didn't like before pregnancy, it was like heightened during pregnancy.
Yes.
So like like the thing was, one of my things was picking up dog poop. Like I have dogs. I need to pick up dog poop. I would literally throw up and my body was really big. So I'm like throwing up and peeing on myself trying to pick up dog poop. And everything's just 10 times more disgusting when you're pregnant.
100%. 100%. So, yeah, so I got what's called hyperemesis, which basically, in understanding terms, is severe nausea, throwing up, not able to keep anything down, but it's severe. We're not talking about the basic nausea that a normal pregnancy would have. We're talking about severe. You need hospitalization, you need IV infusions, the whole thing. So that was my case. I was just living off of applesauce, and I was really worried, obviously, because I was worried about, the pregnancy and stuff. So my baby wasn't getting enough, and I wasn't getting enough. So up until about 16 weeks, I had like an IV port that would stay for 3 days, and then somebody would come and change it every 3 days, and that was for a few weeks. And then I needed to get like vitamins and IV and everything just to make sure that I was fine and the baby was getting everything that she needed, because we realized it was a problem when I had lost 15 pounds in the pregnancy so early and so fast. I think it was in probably a month and a half that they saw that. And yeah, my boss was like, no, this is not good. So yeah, so I was getting my vitamins there. I was still living off of applesauce and the Smucker's peanut butters. People thought it was my craving. It wasn't my craving. It was just the only thing that I was able to eat. I ate that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for weeks. Then I started like approaching second trimester. I started to feel a little better. I never was able to like eat whatever I wanted or have cravings. Honestly, I didn't really have cravings like that. There's nothing in particular that I could remember that.
That was going to be my next question. If you had any cravings, I had cravings. I just couldn't eat certain things. Like I couldn't eat fast food when I was pregnant. It made me like nauseous. Yeah. It made me. I wanted like food. Like if I was hungry, I wanted rice. I wanted beans. Yeah. I wanted chicken. I wanted meat. Like I wanted food. Like I still wanted to be the pregnant woman in McDonald's at like I still wanted to be.
I'm exposed myself. So okay, because in my brain, cravings for pregnancy is like when you like need something and you eat it like probably for like a week long, probably even more. I've had cravings like for like 2-3 days that I would eat back to back. One was being the fish sandwich from McDonald's. I know that it was a craving because I had it like so bad. So I just told myself I was gonna be that person. I'm not gonna eat McDonald's, but I'm not gonna feed it to my baby.
I'm gonna go all organic while pregnant.
Yeah, I humbled myself real quick. So I did pray before I put it in my system, and I don't want to hear nobody be saying, but you putting bad stuff in your system. Don't pray. I still pray. Okay.
Keep
the judgment over there. I'm still gonna pray over it. So yes, I had that for like 4 days in a row, maybe like twice in the day, and back to back. That probably was it. Yeah, the weird. That was that. Okay. Anyways,
I still wanted to be the girl though. I like Ethan would try to get it for me if I'm like, oh, maybe you can do this, but it never hit.
Yeah. And all the stuff I wanted to like I wanted to like hibachi, and I wanted to like, I don't know, Spanish food and stuff like that. Like I would eat it, but it wasn't like I wanted to eat pickles too with peanut butter.
I want them to be weird. I want them to like I don't know, some banana with toothpaste. I don't know, like something. Some people like crave. Some people crave these things. I wanted to be like that, but it just was not it. It was not it.
Yeah, it wasn't it. It's fine though. Yeah, maybe next time. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we'll see. So okay, back to that. Yeah, so where was I?
Up until 16 weeks, you said that you had a person come in like every 3 days.
So I had finished my, IV and all that stuff, and we thought I was good for, my levels and stuff to get off of the IV, which I was so happy. That thing hurts. I had bruises everywhere. I felt like I had to hide them in my sleeve because, and then, the worst part about that is every day I had to do it in the morning and in the nighttime. I had to plug myself in for 4 hours each time, to get like the fluids in and stuff like that. So I just had to sit there, like wherever they put it, my hand here, wherever they would put it, I had to just stay there. I don't know how it worked my whole pregnancy. Don't know, but I did. I made it in every day.
Women are truly amazing. The stuff that we go through and literally still had to keep on pushing through life.
Yeah, that was intense. But I'm thankful for my job and everything. They're understanding and stuff.
I'm super thankful for my job too. Like they were so understanding. That's when I went completely remote when I was pregnant, because they were just, any place where they treat you as a human first before a worker, like seriously, so thankful and so blessed.
Yeah.
So,
I was still treated like a worker because I was dead driving to like Long Island and everywhere, like 39 weeks pregnant, crazy. Anyways.
You were doing that in your life? Yes, you were. Oh my God.
I was still driving.
We are superheroes.
Crazy. So yeah. into my second trimester, things started to get a little bit better from what I recall. I could be delulu, like Lisette calls me.
The ending was better.
The ending was better. Yeah.
Yes. The beginning was,
So,
I felt like the beginning was intense. Like, and you know it's intense because what me and Daffy do is when we're going through things, we just go silent. Like, I did not hear from this lady for like weeks. I just knew she was suffering.
I was suffering. And in the midst of all that, like with the church and just trying to keep up like with work and everything and all that stuff, that was hard. So it got a little bit harder towards probably like 28 weeks and up, because without me knowing, now I know that my gallbladder started to give me problems. So what I felt with the hyperemesis, I would eat certain things that, made sense way later on that it was my gallbladder. And I would catch like an intense pain, like I couldn't breathe. Like my lungs would feel like they're being squashed, and I would just puke up everything that I had eaten like the day of, it was bad. And it would just be like a faucet. And I'm pregnant. I was pretty big. I would like fall on the floor just because I couldn't catch a breath of everything just coming out. Later on, finding out that it was certain foods upset the gallbladder. And I didn't know that at the time. I just thought, oh, pregnancy. Everybody thought it was just pregnancy. That was terrible because I would literally be driving, and if I ate I found out like eggs, bacon, certain things, and I didn't know. So I was just eating what I could. I would be driving and like swinging my door open, like throwing up with the severe pain. Thank God that the pain would go away right away after I let it out, but that was bad because I just did not know what to eat at that point. Yeah. And then in the middle of my pregnancy, I had a scare around 24, 25 weeks, or maybe 23. Around that time, I ended up in the hospital again because I was having severe abdominal pain. And I think I had like some spotting of blood, so I was freaking out. And I remember telling my job, and I was very like, Lisette knows that, like, if something's going on with me, I'm like, like whatever, it can wait. Yeah, like, oh, it's fine. Like, I remember for Poppy's birthday, I was like 2 centimeters already, like cramping and stuff, and I like threw it out there. She's like, and I was doing like a
why are you here? Like, because first of all, okay, how this isn't me judging. This is me being concerned for you at the time. Okay, you were like 39 weeks, were you 38, 39? How much?
37 and a half.
37. You're 37 weeks. She drives almost 2 hours to my house, and then she says, yeah, I'm reading contractions and I'm 2 centimeters dilating and.
That was funny. And I'm like, no, we gotta get this done. I gotta be here. We gotta do this. I knew the baby wasn't coming. Anyways, so yeah, I'm very like whatever when it comes to myself,
life
which is bad.
Push through, and that's not. We have to listen to our bodies, and I'm not one to talk. We have to like listen to our bodies and let them tell us what we need at the moment.
Yeah, next time. So yeah, I knew that something was wrong. So I had the PA at my job check me, and she like put her finger right like by my belly button, and I screamed. I can take pain. I have high pain tolerance. I screamed that I scared her. And she texted Dr. Moses, and she's like, something's going on with Daph. Like, this is not right. Baby's in good position. Baby's heartbeat is good, but like, son, this, what she's feeling is not normal, right? And then I had the spotting, and then I'm like, I'm good, Nelly. Like, leave me alone. I just have this pain because I was sitting at my desk, and I'm like, dang, guys, like, something feels funny. And they're like, well, so let's check. And I'm like, no, I'm good. And then I kept on like the pain was so bad that you start sweating, and I was like, something's a little wrong. So they forced me into the room. They're like, no, come on, we gotta get this checked. Like, if you don't care about yourself, care about the baby. And I was like, don't pull that card. Let's go check. So she checks me, and then she lifts up my leggings because I was wearing leggings. It was winter, and she puts her finger in my leg, and her fingerprint like stays there. So I was swelling. I didn't know I was swelling. And her fingerprint was there. She's like, you're super swollen. Like, take off your socks, take off your boots. Like, something's not okay. So then I'm like, I'm fine. Like, and they're like, nope, you're going to the hospital right now. I'm like, I'm not going to the hospital. I do not have nothing ready. Like, now you guys are freaking me out. I am fine. I think I get Andy on the phone, and they're like, Andy, she has to go in. She's being difficult. Send her. And I was like, I'm going to finish my shift, and then I'll go in. I finish my shift. Andy leaves work. And they're all yelling at me still, like, can't believe you're here. Drink water, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, I'm gonna go home, get my stuff. Cause I knew baby was fine. I wasn't being like a bad mother, people. I knew my baby's heart rate was fine. Her position was fine. The umbilical cord was okay. Like, I knew it was more like a me issue than anything. And I was like, I'm fine. My blood pressure was okay. Oh, my blood pressure was a little bit high. And I don't have high blood pressure. But I was like, you guys are stressing me out. Like, relax.
It's clearly not.
Yeah. We found out later. But I get my bag, whatever. And I'm like, all right, let's make our way to the hospital. I'll be out in a few hours. Haha on you guys. Like, everything's fine. Dr. Moses lets them know I'm on my way. And I go and I'm sitting there waiting. So they get me into a room. They start examining me, whatever, feeling around. They're like, okay, you're not dilated. I'm like, okay, great. Like, I'm just having some pain, maybe because it's common that your muscles obviously stretch in pregnancy. So sometimes people do get pain. So in my head, I was like, that's what it is. Like, it's my first baby. They examine the thing. I'm like, be careful how you examine. They touch it. I scream again. And they're like, you should not be screaming like that. Did the ultrasound, saw that my cervix was okay. I had some fluid inside that they were a little worried about. And I'm like, oh boy. So they were like, okay. And I warned them already. I'm like, I had 3 subchorionic hematomas, which basically means like blood around the baby. But that stuff, we were monitoring it. It was going to go away on its own. So I was like, don't be alarmed. Like, I was telling them like, what I knew. And they're like, yeah, that pain shouldn't be. They thought it was like a placenta abruption, like when the placenta's abrupting. They just thought it was all these things. They thought it was a hernia or something like that. So they examine me and then they tell me it's like 1, 2 in the morning and they're like, you're not going home. And I was like, eh. So I text my boss. I'm like, they're not letting me go home. She's like, yeah, doctor, they have to examine you. They got to do all these tests. Like, something's going on. Like something's going on. And I was mad. So we're there and he's like, look, I'm gonna take off for work. We're gonna be here. Thank God for my mom. She ended up coming super, super late overnight and dropping off clothes because I needed clothes. With my stench, I was like, I need a shower and I need a toothbrush. I need everything. So I was mad there, frustrated. They have me see all these specialists, like GI specialists, just trying to figure out what it is. I go into my room. I'm seeing high risk pregnancy specialists, all this stuff. They come, they try to examine like this girl, this NP comes. And she's like, I'm just going to examine you. I'm like, can you please be careful? You examine me. Of course, she comes and she's like right on my stomach. And I saw Jesus because the room got white. It got real white. And she's like, and I said, I got mad. I was like, I told you not to do it like that. Like that really, really hurt. So I like gave me and I instantly started sweating. And she's like, we have to see what this is. Like they did an ultrasound. They didn't really see something. So she's like, look, I'm going to come back. I'm going to give you morphine, which I didn't want morphine because I just didn't want it for the pregnancy. And they're like, it's fine for the pregnancy. The baby's going to be fine, blah, blah, blah. I just didn't want that in my thing. They come give me the morphine. I have never taken morphine again. I felt like my heart like was doing like this. And I was like, I feel funny. Like I thought I was catching an allergic reaction. She's like, I'm going to give it like 10 minutes and then I'll come back. I'll examine you again. She came back and examined me again with the specialist. And I still screamed. That morphine did not do anything. The pain was so bad. And she ended up saying that it was a hernia. That's what they concluded to. Don't even know if that's true or not. And then they ended up doing, what did we do? Or something. We did something. They ended up saying that my gallbladder was inflamed. And they were like, I'm forgetting stuff. So when they realized how much pain I was in, and then I guess my blood work shows something like my LFTs, which is liver function because of my gallbladder was elevated, that they had me signed to get an induction because they were worried. They wanted to get the baby out because they didn't know what was going on. That scared me because my baby's at this point preemie. And I was freaking out because they were like, you need to sign off because we might have to induce your pregnancy. Your baby has a 50-50 chance of survival. But we need this because we need to make sure that you're fine. And that was like, I texted Dr. Rose. I'm like, I don't know what the heck's going on. Like, do you see anything on? Because obviously when you work in the thing, we can see stuff that's going on in the background. So I'm like, check your computer right now. Like, what the heck is going on? What are they seeing? Like, tell me. And she's like, doctor, just trying to figure things out. Like, just sign it. Don't worry, I'll be there. Like if something goes down, I'm like, my baby's not gonna survive. Like it's 50-50. It's whatever. So that was scary. And then they kept me overnight. Then we did all that stuff, like I told you, the morphine and everything, the morning of, like at 5 a.m. And we ended up seeing that I had gallbladder issues, had a bunch of gallstones, and they thought that the pain that was in the center, right, because your gallbladder's over here, they thought that the pain happening in the center was either a hernia. She confirmed, she's like, you do have a hernia, which is common. A lot of people do, especially an umbilical hernia. But she's saying, I think the pain that you're screaming about is your gallbladder. And in pregnancy, you know how your organs shift everywhere? She was saying that it probably shifted, and that's the pain. So I basically left there. I stood there for like a day and a half. And I went home and they were like, oh, just be careful what you eat. Like, you know, we'll deal with this after, because they had offered me to take on my gallbladder right then and there. That's not something I wanted to do. I didn't want to go under anesthesia. I didn't want anything to, I just said, leave me alone, leave the baby alone. Like, I'll deal with the pain. I'll change my diet. I didn't do that. And then from there. So that was a little scary. That was like in the middle of the pregnancy. Fast forward to third trimester, it got a lot better. I still threw up with the toothpaste and all that stuff, but that was good. I started swelling here and there, but overall, I think I had a good pregnancy.
Okay. So now we know what pregnancy blindness is. No, but I feel like
it wasn't that bad. I'm forgetting stuff. I know I am. I'm definitely stuff.
No, I say, well, like,
yeah, I am. Let me not lie. But guys, people have it worse. That's how I see things. People have it worse. And then my third trimester, I was really, really iron deficient. And I had really low hemoglobin. So yeah, I had to go like every few days to get iron infusions. Once again, sit there and get iron infusions to boost my thing up in case I delivered, because they didn't want me to like have blood loss. We could laugh about it now. So yeah, so I did that, but that wasn't that bad, like iron infusions, whatever. So yeah, I think that was all. I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting stuff, but people have it worse, guys. I think I had a great pregnancy. I really enjoyed it. Lisa's gonna come with her judgment right now, so take it away.
No, I'm not. I was gonna say that although I did not enjoy pregnancy, I did not. But once I saw my baby, guys, like I wanted, give me 5 more right now. Like that's how I saw her and I was like, I want another one. And everyone was like, do you not remember how terrible you're like? Oh, it wasn't as bad as that. I just did not enjoy it. They're like,
no,
you're
the valid, because you were crazy. You did want another. The day she had Poppy, she wanted another baby.
Pop her. It was probably the epidural.
Yeah. She said, Dad, I didn't know it was this easy. I could do this again. I was like,
okay. It's because of my delivery, bro. Like I enjoyed my delivery. It was the epidural. I'm sorry, like that. And also because I worked out, there were certain muscles that I didn't know was strengthened until I gave birth, and that jump just popped that baby out. Yeah. So I was ready. I started feeling contractions, I think at like 4 a.m. February 20th. And at first I didn't know it was contractions. I was just like, okay, that hurt. But I was able to fall back and sleep. And then it really hit me at like 5. I was like, oh my God, I think these are contractions. And then I felt like I wet myself. And then I felt like I needed to poop. And I was like, that tracks. That's how it's supposed to feel when you're about to go into labor. So I went to the bathroom and I realized that I had like fluid leaking out, but it wasn't that much fluid. So this is going to be nasty. But I like took a picture of it and I was like, hey dad, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. Hey dad, I think my water broke. What is this? I sent her the picture. She sent it to Dr. Moses and she was like, yeah, I think you should come in. I'm like, okay, so I'm going in. I really want to
called you, right?
Yes.
I'm like, I need to get to the hospital.
Yes. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go take a shower. And you were like, no.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. We told you that I told you the third trimester, it was stanky. I was not trying to go in without taking a shower, but I went in without taking a shower.
Thank God you went in. Explain yourself. Thank God you went in.
No, thank God I didn't went in, because when I went in, they told me my water did break and I was 5 centimeters, like immediately, which is really weird so that was a Monday. On Thursday, I had my last appointment. And when they checked me, it was 0 centimeters. I was dilated.
I don't want to talk.
You know, we'll let that be a surprise to all of you.
I'm going to talk about mine. I'll talk about mine. You better talk about yours.
That junk hurt. But anyway, when they checked me out, it was 5 centimeters when I got there. And I've never taken like a Lamaze class. I never took breathing classes. I kind of just winged it. In my mind, I'm like, if the cave people deal with it, deal with it. I was right. It hurt. I was literally so much pain. I was just like throwing my arm. I was always so curious how was contractions going to feel. To me, it just felt like a really bad period. Like it was just like a really like sharp period pain. Mm-hmm. And at least that's how I only got to 5 centimeters. So I can't talk about what happened after the fact. Yeah. But so if the hospital is like 2 hours away from us, I think Ethan drove it in like 40 minutes.
Which in our defense is why we told her she cannot shower. because she was far away from the hospital. Mind you, she's in Jersey. She has to get to Long Island, which is farther than getting to like Brooklyn or something. And she was about to hit rush hour traffic if she didn't leave when she left. And my defense.
We left at a good time, and Ethan put the pedal to the metal, and it was so good. It was, I think it was President's Day. So at first I was making a plan, and I was home alone, and I wanted to probably like leave her what I would do, but it ended so perfectly that Ethan was home that day. So thank God for that, because my plan was literally, I'm gonna drive myself, or I'm gonna call my cousin who lives an hour away from me, further into Jersey, and she was gonna meet, and then that's how I was gonna get to the hospital. Thank God it did not come down to that. But we got to Long Island Jewish Memorial Hospital, which was the best. I chose it because I heard the food was better, and it was great. It was so good. I got there though. They checked me in. They checked me. The thing about when they check you, at least for me, I don't know how to not clutch when someone's putting their whole hand.
It's a yeah.
Like, and she's like, I don't know what her position was or whatever. She was like, can you not do that? I'm like, if I could not, I would not.
Yeah, they say stupid stuff.
And they say that to a pregnant person. Like, at that point, I have no filter.
Yeah.
She just, whatever. She checked. It was 5 centimeters. They're like, okay, we're going to check you in. She was like, do you want an epi? Yes, I want an epidural.
And since,
Yes, immediately, yes. I heard if you say no, then you have to wait until they go back around. And then, God forbid, it's too late. And now you have to, I mean, at least me, I didn't want to give birth naturally. I wanted an epidural. I wanted it. I wanted it. I wanted it. So I got the epidural, and it was the best thing ever. It was the best choice. It was the first time I could take a nap and it didn't hurt. So I was in labor from, I guess, when I woke up at 5 a.m. And I finally started being ready to push around like 6. But that entire time I was napping. I was taking, my little breaks. I was so comfortable. I just started feeling pressure and cramping at the end, but it was like very minimal. And it was just like, when I was letting the doctor know, they were like, does it really hurt? Like, do you want more? I'm like, no, but I'm just very aware that I'm about to start pushing right now.
Yeah.
And even the pushing, like I said, I felt like I was almost training for it my entire life. I had no idea.
Guys,
apparently
she was a good pusher, according to Dr. This. She was, and I was there right down, like getting updates and everything. She did amazing.
I think the deadlifts and like the squats, because the way I deadlift and squat, I don't fully extend my back up. I kind of like keep tension, and by keeping tension, I'm not only keeping tension in my glutes, but it's also like causing me to like clench my pelvic bone. So I think that really helped, because literally 3 push later, baby was out. Not push. 3 contractions later, baby was out. She was out, and she was laying on my beautiful little chest, and I thought I would recognize her, but she was a stranger, and it was really weird. But I loved her. I saw her, I heard her little cry. It's like the most overwhelming feeling I've ever had. It was like, literally, I've been growing this person for 9 months, and now they're on top of me, and I can hear them, and I can feel them. I love it. I love it. And then the dopamine hit, and I was like, give me 15 more right now. It's like,
she's not lying.
Do this again. Sure. Everyone was like, do you think your pregnancy? I'm like, no, but this delivery was amazing. I will do this again. Now, they took her, she was so beautiful, so tiny, and they took her over, and then I was like, I need to throw up, and I threw out my life away, and then I was normal again. So that was fun. But I don't know, it was a great experience because of the epidural and the squat thrust.
Epidurals.
That is your
I do want to say, when I saw, I want to say, and I want you to talk about it too.
Okay.
I saw you probably maybe an hour after you pushed that baby out, little poppers. She was like, this is her. Okay, Ellen, this is Poppy. I'm walking in, and she's like, because we were downstairs the whole time in delivery, like the whole time. While Dr. Moses was upstairs, we were right downstairs getting updates and stuff.
I forgot to say some stuff, but
no, say it.
I just wanted to say too, I think my delivery was so good, not just because I felt like my body was prepared, but because Dr. Moses literally, like, once again, it felt special. When I got in there, the nurses were like, I don't know who you are, but your doctor has been calling us nonstop to check on you. And I'm like, oh, let me Dr. M. Like, she made sure I was fine. She made sure everything I needed, whatever plan that we had in place was like done. She made sure she was there in the hospital, despite having done like a previous like round right before I even came in. Like, she was amazing.
Yeah.
But please go on.
Yes. So yeah, this was I walked in and this is her. No, I'm not laughing, like in shock, in shock. And I like went to her like really slowly because guys, if you're ever visiting like a mom that just delivered, don't forget to greet them. Okay. I went right to her. I went right to her and I remember saying you did it and I remember just rubbing her head and she's like in shock. And I didn't even like she had Poppy and I looked at Poppy and I remember just like rubbing her head like you did it. I think I kissed your head. I'm like you
Yes.
did it and you were just like in shock. It's traumatic, guys. Like it really is traumatic.
It's like that's why I said imagine like holding this thing for 9 months. You've never seen it. Like you've been
Yeah.
preparing for this day all this time and out of nowhere it's here.
Yeah.
And
You're
it's
just
like
staring at her.
things like go fast.
Yeah.
So the babies, they're moving me into another room.
Yeah.
I had to now tend to myself.
Yeah.
I'm like in disarray because I didn't take a shower or anything. I'm just here.
Yeah.
And kid is here. And you're like full of love, and then you're just like, what is happening? I just pushed out a baby. I'm officially a mom now. Who is this? Who is this child who I love so much? I know it.
Yeah. And it's normal. Like, I want to say it's really normal to feel like how you felt because there's even moms that reject their baby, right? You don't go into it thinking that you're going to do that. It's just some imbalance happens. And some people don't even like want to touch their baby. Like you need like therapy through that process of trying to figure out your emotions, right? Because nobody expects to be that way. But like that feeling of just like, who is this is so normal for a lot of people. But I don't hear a lot of people talk about that or even like rejecting the baby. And there's a lot of people that do reject their baby in the beginning. And people don't mention that. And it's normal. It's fine. It's okay. You need help through that process of accepting that, this is your child and we know that you love your child, but your body's telling you contrary. So I want to say like that's normal. It was very normal, like expected, because some people look at it like the wrong way and it's not even like that.
I was just happy that even though I was shocked, I was so enamored by her. I'm like, that's literally what got me through the next couple months.
Yeah.
Like literally in disillusion land. Like I'm saying, you're so shocked.
Yeah.
Even after 2 months that you had a baby.
Yeah.
Now, like, you're not getting any sleep. And now your body is still like healing and you have to be conscious of that because, you have to take care of yourself. Well, we were saying before, like, we were so used to like putting people before us. And now, like, we have to take care of ourselves and a kid. And if you neglect yourself, then you're like almost neglecting your child because you can't do anything if you don't like take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So thank God for like the crazy baby, like I love this baby emotions because that's literally the only thing that got me through just like the little land.
Yeah.
Like not even knowing what's going on. I think you came to see me a week later and I'm still like,
yeah,
I did that.
Yeah. I think I did, right? Yeah. I know I saw you. I stood there the whole night until you delivered and I saw you. And then came the day after. And then that morning after you were going home, and I think I saw you that week.
Yeah, no, you came to the house, and I was still, what is happening? And that was awesome coming. There's two different types of people. You know what? Let's not talk about two different types of people. Let's just talk about what you should do when you come to someone's house after they just gave birth. Do not expect to be hosted. Expect to be at the mom's beck and call and ask her how she wants you to show up. Do you want to show up by cleaning the house or taking the baby?
Yeah.
Or doing something else. Like just do things for the mom because at that point, like you're in the lowlands.
Yeah.
You just had a baby. Like sometimes moms don't want to be apart from their baby. Sometimes that literally triggers postpartum from being so long periods without their kid. Like for me, like I know I didn't want to think about anything else but focusing on myself and my kid. Staff came and she was like, okay, I'm gonna cook. You my little baby? No, okay. You want me to sit with you while you breastfeed? I'll sit with you. Like, that was perfect. But like, please, just that's my child. Please just ask the mom how you want it to show up and bring food.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's really true. Yeah, that's true. I'm thinking about 1,000 scenarios. Yeah, cater to the mom. Don't forget mom.
I feel bad, but don't forget the dad either. Like,
yes.
Well, they didn't also go through traumatic thing, but their whole life just changed.
Yeah. Yeah. That was so good with that because she literally would, like, when I delivered, she would ask, she's like, are you okay? Like, do you need anything to Andy? And people do forget dad, they do. And it's a lot for him. Like, he's dealing with two people, sometimes 3 kids if you have twins. 3 people if you have twins, but it's just make sure that the parents are okay. Mom needs to be catered to on a whole nother level. And that doesn't always mean taking her baby. And it's really not healthy, actually, if you do take her baby. There's like 1,000 other ways to help. I think I remember bringing Lisette flowers because I know she likes having flowers on her table. So I did that. I think I brought you Italian bread from.
Oh my God. Yes, you did. So,
Yeah.
well, some people do this, but you're not supposed to drink cold cuts. You're not supposed to eat cold cuts when you're pregnant. And I stuck by it, and I love me a boar's head sandwich. So she came with the good Italian bread from the bodega, the cold cuts. I was living. It was good.
And then dinner. Yeah. So try to help as much as you can. It helps the parents at the end of the day so they don't have to think about something as simple as dinner because it's not simple when you're a new parent. So yeah, that's important. If you're going to be around, don't just come see the baby. If you want to come just see the baby, come 2 months later, honestly. Seriously. Hey, okay, my delivery. So my delivery basically went a little something like, I know the ins and outs of things, so I had scheduled myself for an induction. People have a lot of opinions about induction. I just really thought that that was the best choice for me, for my schedule, for my health. I didn't want baby to be too big. It was just best for me. Like, to each his own. Induction was best for me. And I just felt like the way Faithy was going, she was getting real comfortable in there that I would have resulted in a induction anyways. So I did that. I had scheduled myself for around 39 weeks. Dr. Moses was on board. She's like, fine, I'm available. And then I also wanted my boss to deliver me. And based on her schedule, we were able to both be there. It didn't even work out that way anyways. But we were both there and we were like, look, this is perfect. Whatever. I went in on, well, I don't remember what the date. I went in on March 28th was my induction date. And I was so excited because I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to have a Good Friday baby. You know, March 28th, I was going in at 11 p.m. And I was hoping by Good Friday, she was going to be out. March 29th, she would be here. Wasn't the case because inductions are very unpredictable. They can go however long. They can result in a C-section. So never do an induction based on like you wanting a specific date. I've had patients that do that. Life doesn't work that way, but you can try to work that way.
I tried to schedule an induction. She came early.
Yeah, she did.
I wanted it for selfish reasons. I wanted her birthday to be March 3rd, 2023. So 3323. It didn't happen like that. But continue.
Way earlier. Even 13 days before that. She was ready.
Yeah. She was ready to be out.
90, you delivered around 37 weeks, right?
I don't know. I just know the 20th she was out of here.
She was around 37 weeks, which is very early for somebody whose first baby.
It went early because when I first went in, they were like expecting me there kind of like for like 24 hours because the first baby takes long. She was out, guys. She was like, I told you, I got there at 7. She was out by 6.
She was ready. She was ready. Okay. So anyways, I went in for the induction. Dr. Moses wasn't there because the way inductions work, like I said, there were a couple hours. So we kind of estimated like, hey, I'm going to go in. I'll be in labor overnight. For your time in the morning, I should be good to go. That wasn't it. So we go into to basically where I'm going to deliver, to my room. They set me up. They set Andy up. They allowed my mom in, and we start the process. I'm excited. They get me IV'd up. I'm on the NST, non-stress test, checking the baby's contractions or whatever. They give me the medication to dilate, and we start the process. And then, so I had also, this is what happens like when you work with people. I had asked doctor to strip my membranes right before.
What is that?
What you screamed about in the office?
When they
membrane. Yes.
I don't like that.
You didn't get stripped though.
She put her finger in my butt. I don't like that.
It didn't go in. It was just, it's like, it went like, it was her going in the canal of the vagina, and then it like the pressure. She wasn't in. Anyways, I saw it. She wasn't in there. So, anyways, so right a few days before, to get the process going, she had checked me, and I think that's when I was at your thing. I think I was about like 1.5, 2 centimeters. And Dr. Moses was like, okay, like, I went in, like, it could like happen. And I was like feeling like cramping, like period cramps. Okay. So, she's like, okay, like it could happen any day. So I had her do that, and then she did it again. And I tell y'all that was horrible. Horrible. Like I laughed at Lisi when she screamed, and I ate my words because I screamed I screamed, and then I
It
was
literally
leaving.
feels like they're putting their whole hand. I don't know what exactly. I mean, what is happening? Are they putting their whole hand in there? What is?
I think you're feeling like a mixture of like the pressure like on your, it's remember because it's just putting like pressure like on everything. You're sensitive down there anyways, and yeah. No, they're not putting their whole hand in it. They're putting like a finger, maybe two if they can, but a finger.
Really?
Hmm.
Oh God.
So yeah.
God.
And you
Oh,
were
God.
just getting checked. I don't know. She didn't strip your membranes.
I don't know what she did, but it did not feel good. Okay. And
Yeah.
then everyone was laughing and all defensive and everything.
And then yeah, and then she did to me. She's like, you're squeezing. Because obviously she was there. She's like, you're squeezing my hand. You need to relax. And I'm like, I can't. Get out. Get out. That was bad though. I screamed and I was in so much pain afterwards. But not that much pain because she did it again a few days after. And it was much. No, did she do it? I think somebody else did it. It was a lot better. And they told me, okay, you're good too. You're open. Like your cervix is in the right place. Blah, blah, blah. And then okay, so I was already a little dilated when I got to the point of saying that I'm a little dilated already when I got to do my induction. So they gave me the medication. I start seeing contractions on the monitor machine. I wasn't feeling anything, and I was like, I had bad but like in my previous episode, Alyssa and I had spoken about me having endometriosis and stuff like that, and the severe period pains and stuff. So I was like, I'm not feeling nothing. Like this is gonna be a piece of cake. Then they started like they were just giving me medication, and then they were putting medication in that. So it picked up. It picked up, and I was like, oh, okay, like this is I don't know if I can do this like the whole way through. So my mom was like, look, wait it out. I had gotten to 3 centimeters, and I just felt like this is my opinion. I just felt like I was contracting a little heftier because I have uterus problems with the contractions. So I just was like, I don't know if I could do with this. I don't know how long I'm gonna be in labor.
I
Like,
feel like you were in labor for like 12 hours before you got the epidural, right?
yes, I was in labor probably
It
like
was long.
12,
It was
12.
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember like texting Andy like I forgot what time you went in, whatever time you went into like the morning, and
Yeah.
then he was like, yeah, now she's getting it. I'm like, she's stuck in there.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like I guess so, yeah, I would say like 12 hours.
Yeah.
Because I got it in the morning and we started the induction pretty on time, like a little after 11. So yeah, it was for a couple hours. I got it in the morning. So
So 12 hours, you're experiencing labor pains, no really medicine to like balance that out of that feel.
doing it, but it was I was getting tired, and that's what I was scared of because I could deal with the pain, but it was bad, and it was coming like like I wasn't getting a break. So, but then I was like, oh, this is good. Like that means I'm contracting and I'm dilating. Sorry, that means I'm dilating, and guys, I wasn't dilating. So once I was like, I don't know if I could because it kept coming into check. And then Emily, who works with us now, she was there at the time. She was the midwife helping me. And she's like, hey, and I had interactions with her because I knew she was going to be onboarding with us at our office. So I was glad to have a familiar face before Dr. Moses got there. And she was like, coming in, checking on me, taking care of me. And she's like, you're not dilating. Let's up the medication. So, when they up that medication, it's making you contract and contract and contract to hopefully dilate. That wasn't the case with me. So the medical assistant that was there, she kind of saw that I was in pain, and my mom was like, are you good? And I was like, I'm getting tired. And I knew I needed a lot of energy to push. So I was like, I don't think that I'm going to be able to push if I'm like this for another 12 hours. And I went in there, like, I remember having these conversations with Lacey, are you going to do epidural? Before, I used to be like, nah, I'm not going to do epidural. I know what these pains feel like. I could do it. That was a very uneducated statement to say. And then as I got closer, though, I started realizing, like, and I kept saying I'm open to it. I don't know. Like, I don't want to sound dumb and say I'm not going to get it. Like,
You always sounded open to it. Like you said that you wanted to do it without, but if it comes to it, then you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I went into it like that. Like, it wasn't that I need it right away. I was like, let me just fill this out. And when the opportunity comes, I'll do it or I'll ask for it. And I did. She was like, do you need it? because your contractions are coming often. And I always heard that when they offer you, you take it right then and there. One, because you don't know how long they're going to take, or if you are dilated too far along, then you can't get it.
You miss your chance.
So
yeah.
So I was like, let me just get it now. Let me just tell them so that they can let the anesthesiologist know. I don't know how long they're going to take.
Because like once you say you want to get the epidural, your name is basically put in like a queue.
Yeah.
So like if you wait too long, then literally they have to come right back around, go through that list to finally get back to you if you say no and then change your mind later.
And thank God they weren't that busy, because he came to me maybe the timing was all off in my head, guys, because of pain and everything. Like, you're not really accurate. Like, if I can't be accurate right now with the timing, I want to say it didn't feel long. I want to say maybe 15 minutes. He came and I was shocked. I was like, okay, I could have dealt with it a little bit longer, but I was like, we're here, let's do it. And at that point, I was 3.5 centimeters, and that scared me, because if you get it too early, sometimes it might wear off. But the good thing is, he came. He's like, how far along? I told him, and the nurse told him there, and he was like, look, if you need more, or if I have to give you like an up dose, I'll come back, or somebody else who's on call will come back, and we'll make sure that you're covered. So I was like, okay, that's my worry of getting it right now. So he's like, no, you'll be fine. So they do that. How was your epidural experience?
Mine, okay, so I know it was gonna hurt, but it was like a different type of hurt. It was like you can't really see what they're doing, so it's almost like a jump scared when they initially put it in your back. And then there's this like weird pressure, obviously going into your spine, into that space, whatever it's called. So you can feel the pressure going in.
Yeah.
So I literally had to talk myself through it. Like I would keep jumping and they're like, you can't jump. So I had to tell myself, do not jump, stay still, you're going to be fine, you got it. Like I literally had to talk myself through it as they're inserting something into my back.
Yeah.
All I can say is it hurt. Like, please if you don't even go to Lamaze class, the one thing you can do while you're pregnant is learn how to self-talk, because that's going to help you through delivery.
Yeah.
But how was yours?
Mine wasn't that bad. I think I was so used to pinches and stuff and like needles that it wasn't that bad.
And after 12 hours of just like feeling pain, I would think that was nothing in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. And the nurse, she came to me, and and this is not to brag. I'm thankful. I know Lisette's thankful. Being a patient of Dr. Moses, working for her, being familiar, like knowing somebody that knows her, the care is on another level. Just like anywhere, you know somebody, you're okay. And just the attention, and the nurses, like the nurse for the epidural, because obviously they kick your family out for that point. She like literally hugged me, and she's like, I want you to squeeze me when you're having a contraction, because you cannot move. This is like, it's really serious. They need to like get it in the right spot. And she told me to hug her, and I was like, it's hard to sit still during a contraction, and I was getting them like very close together because of the medication. But it wasn't that the pinch was a pinch. The cringy and like uncomfortable part is when he's like, it sounds like a screwing thing, like a
yes.
It feels like a screw is growing in your spine.
That's why it's like a pressure.
Yeah, and then it sounds like metal. And one of my pet peeves is like biting on metal, and that's what it was.
Can you say like one of your pet peeves was what?
Is like metal against like teeth, or metal rubbing against each other. That's what it felt like. That part just made me like that was the worst part about it all. So that was fine. I got my epidural.
That's fine.
He placed it well, and the pain was gone. And I was in labor, and then they make you get the button if you need more, and then I kept switching sides to just balance the medication out. But it was great. I was in labor for a couple hours. You felt like something, and when I did, I like shot the button.
Yeah.
And they would be coming in, checking me, and then checking without epidural. That was not nice. So then after I got the epidural, after Dr. Moses popped in, she broke my water, and it went everywhere, and like squirted all over everything.
That's one thing that, like, for my water, remember I said it was a little liquid? It's because it was a partial break. I didn't know it at the time, so I had to wait until it completely broke. So it was funny when it completely broke, because we're all waiting. We're like, oh, we're just waiting for the water to break, literally as she's speaking. And we're like, okay, so like, did it just like, literally, you've heard the water?
She grabbed so they have like a hook thing that they put in, and she's like, all right, I'm going to break your water. And I'm sitting there. At that point, you don't care who's looking at you. Okay, so legs all open. I'm just like chilling at that point. And she's like, all right, she's like, relax, butterfly legs. I'm like, okay. She goes, and I don't think she knew that it was gonna like that. That she like, as soon as she put it in, it like shot at her. And I felt like, well, I was kind of numb, but I felt like a warm sensation a little bit. And I was like, and we laughed, of course, because I know all that. And she's like, oh my God. And then she was like getting tissues, and Emily's there getting tissues, and we kind of laughed and stuff. And they're getting like blue chucks, like the, hospital stuff. And they're just cleaning it up, and we're laughing. And she's like, oh, your water's broken. Like, this is going to expedite things. So I was like, okay, like, I'm here. It wasn't, I got to like 4 centimeters, a couple hours later, 5 centimeters. I was feeling like kind of like painish a little bit, but the epidural was doing its thing. Like that pain, like the slight pain I was feeling, I could deal with it. And then in that process, you're turning, I'm with the ball, I'm like doing all these positions, I'm like on my fours, because we're trying to like see why I'm not dilating.
Yeah.
So at that point, right, because I went on the 28th at night, we thought I was gonna deliver Good Friday. That whole day just went, and I had made it to like 5 centimeters. And they were all like, what the heck is going on? And then it became that night, and I knew that Dr. Moses, like, she was exhausted. And I had told her, I kept telling her, I'm like, look, I understand. She wanted to deliver me. And I wanted her to deliver me, but I was like, look, I understand you're exhausted. Go home. Let somebody else take care. Like, I'm not going to feel away. Go home. Emily had even gone home and then came back for another shift, and I was still there. And she, what are you still doing here? And I'm like, I'm here. So she's like, let's try to expedite. Let's see, we don't want baby under so much stress. Like, we have to figure out what's going on. So Dr. Moses stays. Poor Dr. Moses. She was like sleeping on a desk. She's exhausted at this point and trying to get me like to do all the things that we could do. I finally get to 6 centimeters, and they keep checking, they keep stretching. So when I get to 6 centimeters, they go in and they see that, so Faith was head down, but she needed to be in a certain position. So instead of her face being, I believe, downwards, it was like upwards. Because the baby has to be in a certain position to come out.
So was she facing like I guess like your back, or like
like the part of her head that was coming out was like this part, and it needed to be like this part. So they had saw that once I was opening up, and they're like, the baby's not in position. So Emily comes in, and she's trying to literally physically rotate, Faith. And she's like, okay, I think we're good. Comes back like an hour. Either baby wasn't rotated correctly, or she just went. So then Dr. Moses comes and tries a couple times, even like a higher up doctor that's been doing it a lot longer comes in and tries. And they're like, okay, we're going to let her sit, and then we'll be back. And unfortunately, she still wasn't. So then they were kind of getting weird that she's been in the canal so long that they were kind of getting worried. Because I know a little background, I was like, something's not right. So they end up putting the monitor on Faith's head. They did it twice. Like, it's like a little screw that goes on their head, which I was sad about because they did it twice. She still has a scar from it. So they were monitoring her, and then it was getting like to late night stretch. Now it's midnight. The 20, what was it? It was the 29th, like late at night.
So how long was she in the canal for?
I don't even know. Hours, like or longer than they wanted to, basically. So it was getting to that point, like Dr. Moses is tired. I'm like tired. I'm like with all the positions and stuff. And then baby's getting stressed at this point. So, being bothered, being flipped, Faith already was showing us like, get me out of here. We were all trying to figure out, like, Dr. Moses, like, hey, like, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, we might consider C-section. And I said, I know in my heart that I was always going to get a C-section. So I'm like, you make your call. Let's do this. If I feel bad that you're up, I want you to be good. You make the call. I want her to be okay. I'm like, I'm fine. I want her to be okay. So then, she was like, we're going to give it a little longer. And then she's like, I'm kind of worried that the umbilical cord is stuck around her because she wasn't just coming out. So I was like, so then they tried one more. She's like, Daph, I'm going to try one more time. So she tries and she turns Faith again as much as she could. And she's like, okay, let's just try to see. And then the monitor, so it goes, the heartbeat, and then if the heartbeat, something happens to the heartbeat, the machine goes beep, 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 like something's wrong. So then she's sitting like on my bed, like by my legs, because they're open, obviously, because she just turned the baby, and she's just watching the monitor. We're all watching the monitor, and I'm just listening to it. And we kind of hear like beep, 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 like something. So then I'm very good on not freaking out in situations. So I remember just looking at her, and her face scared me because I know her. And she jumps up, Emily jumps up, the nurse that was in there jumps up, and then about, I don't know, maybe 5 nurses run into the room, because you can hear the monitors and see the screens outside. 5 nurses jump in the room. I'm looking at them, trying not to freak out. And she looks at her, she said, Daph, I need you to flip. So I'm, instead of laying down, I'm flipped now. They open, like everything's out at this point. They open my back, and then she comes on my stomach and like pounds it, to kind of get Faith to either breathe or get her heartbeat back. And she's just shaking and shaking, shaking my stomach. Finally, we get her back. And we're like, okay, we're good. My mom starts freaking out, crying, because they don't say, when they're in that setting, they don't talk much. I knew that something was going on.
It's like all action.
Yeah,
like,
it's
okay,
all like the people just barge in. Andy's standing on the side of me. He's looking. At that point too, my dad has snuck in the room, but he was on the side. Obviously, he wasn't looking at anything. He was on the side, but he's like staring to like, what the heck is going on? But my mom, she started crying, like, and she went to the bathroom. And Dr. Moses kept her cool, right? Because she's a professional, and she's like, don't worry, like everything's fine. Like, she doesn't have to cry. Like, we're good. After that, she's like, look, Daph, we got the baby's fine. Stay like this. I'm gonna come back in a few minutes. I guess they had their huddle. They spoke. She came back in. She said, I'm gonna call it. She said, I'm gonna give you another 20 minutes. Babies are ready to come out. She's like, I think you need a C-section. And I said, let's do it. Let's do it. She's annoyed already. Let's just, do what we have to do. So she's like, okay. She's like, are you okay? And I said, yes, I'm fine. I said, I knew this was going to happen. And she's like, all right, I'm going to get scrubbed up. I'll get the OR ready. And she goes, I'll meet you there. And I said, fine. So that moment, it hit me, and I did cry because I was scared. And I was like, I just want her out. I don't know how my body was physically going to do. During a C-section, I was getting iron infusions. I didn't, like, all that ran to my head. I don't know if I'm ready, to bleed out the way that, you do in a C-section. And I remember telling her, I'm like, hey, I'm A positive, like, get blood on the side just in case. So we do that. My mom, we pray real quick, and then they come to get me. And they said, they gave Andy his things, and Andy was like, oh, I'm going to go with you. They took me first. I say bye to my mom. I say bye to my dad. I'm like, I'll see you in a few minutes. Like, I'll see you guys, an hour max. Like, I'm going to make it back. And, my mom is emotional. Andy's like, all right, I'll see you in a few, because they were going to take him separately to the OR. And I'm strolling in, like, trying to compose myself. So I get in their room. I see everybody in their scrub. They're fully covered because it's a surgery at this point. And everybody's nice. It just got real. Like, it got real. Like, I'm sweating now, even thinking about how real it got.
I feel like I'm in the room with you. Like, I'm just like, I can just feel like the tension. It's like,
yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And at that point, I began to get the jitters. So I began to get the tremors, basically.
Uh-huh.
And mind you, my legs are numb. So while the bed I'm on, they have to physically, these people have to pick me up, and I'm dead weight because I'm really numb on the bottom. And I have to like help them lift myself up to get to the thing. And then they start, taping. One thing I am, guys, is claustrophobic, and I don't like being strapped. So that was a nightmare. So they strap me down like this, and then they put a bag in front of my face.
I didn't know. I thought like your arms like were free. They strap you down.
I had a strap here and I had a strap here.
Gosh.
So, which I didn't like. But I guess it was because I had IV and all this stuff on. And then, so the anesthesiologist was a really cool guy. Everybody there was amazing. But he gave me like peace, and Dr. Mo was like, he's good. Like, she was talking to me. She's like, he's good, okay? She's like, you're going to be fine. Like, we're going to do this. And I was like, okay. But as a human in my head, I'm like, I'm dying. I'm going to die right here, but get this baby out. And so he's just talking me through, and I'm like hearing, like, it's just a weird feeling. Like, you're hearing everything that they're saying, but and then I'm in there by myself. Andy was not there yet. And so I'm there uncomfortable, and then they put a mask on me with a bag in front of me. I just felt claustrophobic. And at that point, I kept trying to hit, and I said, can I please take this mask off? Because I felt like I just could not breathe. And he's like, look, he's like, yeah, do whatever you need to feel comfortable. Like, he's like, I'm gonna give you the medication. He's like, if you feel like you have to throw up, let me know. You're gonna turn your face all the way to the side. He literally pulled my face. He's gonna turn your face all the way to the side. You're gonna throw up like that. And I was like, I can't get enough to throw up. I have to throw up from this. That already like made my heart like I'm telling you, my heart was like that. The machine was going beep 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 because he was like, you need to throw up. I'm sorry. So he's talking me through. He's like, yeah, everything's gonna be all right. You know, he's like really trying to be really mellow. And I was like, okay. And then he's like, when I give you this medication, your body's gonna shake even more. So he gives me that, and he's like, you're gonna feel like dead weight even more. So he puts the medication. I did not like it because I felt like I could not move. I felt numb like here. So I automatically thought something's wrong, like maybe I'm allergic. And he's like, no, just relax. And then I started. This is like literally all I felt. Even though I couldn't feel my body, like I was shaking. Andy finally sits next to me and he's like, hey. And I know I looked at him like a ghost because I'm like, after I looked at him 10 seconds later, I start feeling like I have to puke. So I'm like puking to the side and I'm just puking as they're cutting. She was like, that's where we're going to start. And I'm like from the side. So I'm throwing up and then I finally get my thing back and all I feel is just tugging, like nothing, no pain yet. And she's like, all right, Daph, like you're doing, you know, Dr. Moses is just trying to like calm me down. And I'm just breathing. Yeah. And I'm telling myself, you're okay. Like I keep telling myself, you're okay. You're okay. Andy's like, you're okay. And I'm like, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm going to do it. And the guy's like, you're good. You're good. He's like, come on. He's like, give me a song that you want to put on. Like the baby's about to be here. Like, give me a song. I couldn't even respond. I was like, I literally said, whatever is going to make you guys. And I wanted to have like, you know, have the Christian music and the moment and like have a beautiful song that she was going to be delivered to. I couldn't have that. I just couldn't. I said, whatever is going to make you guys do this well. And I remember him putting on a Little Mermaid song. He's like, we're going to put Little Mermaid on for her. And they were all singing the song. Like it was so chill for them. They were all singing the song while
all I'm thinking is, I don't know what song Under the Sea.
No, it wasn't. It was come on, help me. And I should know this because it's what she was.
Is it when she comes out of the water?
A part of that one. Yeah. So that song is playing and they're all like thing. And then I just felt like this I feel somebody like pressure like this on my stomach. Because Faithy, like, she did not want to come out. Like, she did not. So all I feel is like, and they're like, and he's like, hey, do you feel pain? And I'm like, no, I just feel like out. Like, it's, I just feel like they were just ripping me apart. And she, like, did not. So they're like, oh, baby's being a little difficult. And all I feel is, like, them trying to pound her, like, out. Because she was already in the canal. So she's already, like, in there. So they pull her out finally. They pull down the curtain. They show me the clear curtain. I see her with this cone head like this. I feel so bad because it wasn't like your average cone head. It was like she was stuck there for so long, like so long that her face was so bruised because of my pelvic bone. And then they're like, yeah, immediately she cried as soon as they pulled her out. And I was like that, like I started to get like emotional. And Andy's like, she's here, like you're doing good. And he's like, the anesthesiologist like, all right, mama, like, you know, we're gonna start, you know, rearranging everything, contracting your uterus, everything. And Dr. Mo's like, I'm just contracting your uterus. Please don't tell me what you're doing. Let's just go.
What is contracting your uterus?
So
what is
she
that?
has your uterus in her hand and she's contracting your uterus. Because I believe that it helps like the blood flow. Don't quote me on this. It helps with the blood flow and then like kind of like contract to get back inside. It takes a long time to get your uterus back inside, but your uterus needs to contract, like, yeah, you know, even after. That's why people have pain, like after delivery, still the cramping and stuff, because your uterus is still like.
Yeah, I know it's like the uterus like this big, and now after
it's a soccer ball, a watermelon sometimes. So she was just like, you know, playing with my uterus, and like I don't care, just do whatever you have to do. So when they're doing that, you know, I look at the baby, and he's like, hey, are you doing? He didn't even like pay attention to the baby while they were cleaning up, and he's like, how you doing? And I'm like. At that point, I got scared. And I literally was like, God help me, God help me, God help me. Because while they were contracting the uterus, and I'm sure I was bleeding, the room got so white. And I told Danny, I said, I'm going. And I told him, I said, I'm going to die. He's like, no. He's like, no, you're fine. And then the anesthesiologist was like, are you okay? And I said, I am going. Like, all I felt was my eyes, like, rolling back, and the room was white. And the room was already white because of the lights. But the room was, I couldn't even focus. And I was like, I am going. So then he told Dr. Moses something that I can't even remember. And she's like, guys, we need to hurry up. And I remember like, I hear like just rattling and they're like trying to just close me up, I'm assuming. And then like I remember like Andy and the anesthesiologist like, come on, like you like you're here, like stay here, like your baby's gonna come to you right now. They're gonna bring them. The nurse is like, we're coming, we're gonna bring the baby. And Andy like grabs the baby and he's like, look babe. And I felt so bad because I looked at her and I was like, all I remember saying was, I can't focus right now. It was like, I can't focus right now. I was like, I'm dying. That's all I told him. And he was like, he told me after, he's like, when I was holding her, he's like, I couldn't pay attention to her either. Like, he was like, I was kind of mad they gave her to me because I was like worried that you kept saying like you're going. And when they were, I guess, stitching me up or whatever in my muscles, and I had started to feel pain. Like, it felt like pain. And he's like, are you feeling pain? Because I kept saying, ow, 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 ow. I'm like, I feel pain, I feel pain. And obviously, like, Dr. Moses and the staff that was helping her stitch me up, they're not paying attention. Like, it's his job to pay attention to like me. They're trying to just do this quickly. And he's like, guys, he's like, I need everybody to stop. And that scared the heck out of me. He's like, I need to give her more medication. She's like, what you guys are doing, she's feeling pain. So he's like, he gives me whatever he does. And then he's like, all right, you guys can continue. And then I was so sad because they were like, okay, the nurse comes in. They were like, okay, we're going to take you out the room. They need to finish her. And he's like, I don't want to leave. Like, can you just take me? He's like, no, we need to take you out the room. So Andy like hugged me, like my face. And he was like, I'll see you. He's like, I'm going to see you in a few minutes. And I was like, I remember just saying like, okay, like, and I was like, dang, why are they taking him from me? And they took him. And then he said, because I don't remember the time frame, he said that like 15 minutes later, I ended up being rolled into the room. And Dr. Moses came to me. She's like, before they rolled me, she's like, you did so great. She's like, I stitched you up nicely. She's like, you lost some blood. We'll check it. But I think you're okay. She's like, how you feeling? And I was just like, I think I said we did it. And she's like, yeah, we did. Like, you're good. And I was like, thank you. Go home, sleep. And she's like, stop worrying about me. And I'm like, go home, sleep. So she's like, I'll see you in a few minutes. Let me just get cleaned up. And then they rolled me into the room, and then I was able to see like immediately they do that. They opened my thing up, they put her right on top of me. My parents looked at me, my dad looked at me like, I don't know, he just gave me a look that I never seen on my dad. I don't know if he thought like, oh my God, like my daughter just had a baby. And they just like everybody was in the room, but they just popped my boob out, put the baby, and immediately she was already like, so everybody was laughing, and that was that. That's what I remember from that. I was on heavy medication. The night was great. She slept through the night. And thank God that they didn't take the baby from us, because I know they do sometimes. I was thankful that they did not take the baby. I'm glad they didn't. They did every test in the room. And that's sad, because the next of it is postpartum. But that was my labor story. And I'll do it again because I'm Delulu. Yo, I sweated telling that story because I've never told it that in depthly.
No, this is the first time I heard it that in depth. I feel like I got like the PG version until now.
Yeah, that was. Yeah,
no, it sounds.
That was traumatic.
Women are like literally absolutely amazing. Like, yeah, everything. First of all, creating life with us, and then even the process to get that life out. Like, I remember seeing you the next day though, and I was like, not like no, it technically that day, but it was like hours later.
Yeah,
because what's
she was out at 2:04. So she was born the day after Good Friday. So it was still Holy Weekend, but she was born on Saturday. So you saw me Saturday.
Yeah, I saw you Saturday. And then I remember going to you. I'm like, I don't remember what I said. I just remember like stroking you. I'm like, are you? Because she had like that spaced out look. I'm like, she was out. I'm like, are you okay? Are you here right now? Like, what's going on?
I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
So timid, like so exhausted. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
How you're doing what you're doing right now, but you're doing so good.
And it wasn't like labor was fine because we were in labor for 27 hours, but it wasn't, like I said, the epidural was great. It was from like 1:30 in the morning to delivery that it was a lot. But like I said, I feel like I knew I was gonna have a C-section because I had dreams prior that I was walking in pain holding a baby, and I kept telling myself, prepare yourself for C-section, prepare yourself for C-section. So I was surprised.
When you telling me you were like that you wanted a C-section, I'm like, I just like I didn't know. I was like, okay, you want a C-section, but you're planning to give birth naturally. I'm like, we shall see what happens the day of.
Yeah.
I just told like all we want is healthy baby.
Yeah.
Healthy baby.
That's why when Dr. Moses was like, I think I'm gonna call it, I was like, call it.
Healthy baby, healthy mommy.
Just let's get her out. We waited this long. Don't wait for me, Labor's labor. Like, just get her out. So that was thing. Not that I was traumatized, but I'm not that traumatized because
it's when that dopamine hits, when you finally like connect with your baby that you don't remember anything.
yeah,
Oh,
that's why we're both Delulu because we'll do it again. We will do it again. But hey,
gosh.
like God
I
carried
didn't
us
ask you
through it.
too, like, are you on more? I think I asked you while you were there and you told me yes. I was like, you're crazy.
Postpartum is what made me question that.
Yeah. And that is what we're going to be talking about next on our next episode.
That's intense.
But that is intense. Postpartum is a different beast. You hear different versions. Everyone goes through it differently.
Honestly, I'd rather go through labor, C-section again and again and again, and not postpartum. It's bad. People don't talk about it that much. People talk about like the labor and pregnancy part, but that one's gonna be interesting.
It's going to be interesting because that is like, it's only been 5 months of postpartum, but that jump continues. And that's another thing I didn't realize either, that some people are in postpartum for like the first 4 years of the child's life.
Yeah, so yeah, because there's this time frame that people say, oh, you're postpartum for this amount of months or the first year, but those side effects still stay for some time. So there's no time frame. Like even like your brain takes over a year to go back to its size. People don't know. We joke around, oh, pregnancy brain. No, your brain
That's real.
shrinks
Yeah.
in pregnancy by a huge, like a big percentage. Like, and it takes a long time to go back. Just like anything, your uterus takes months. Your body takes sometimes over a year. Your hormones take it varies for many people. So that's gonna be we're gonna be very vulnerable.
We are. And
Postpartum.
the intention for this space is for us to be, first of all, authentically ourselves, and like for this to be a safe place for that to happen. So please join us whenever we put that video out. Because to be honest, we have come to terms with, like we said, we're currently into postpartum. We currently have babies. We currently have so much on our plate. At most, we're just trying to be obedient to what God told us to do. And if the timing's not it, is not it, but we know we're going to continue putting it out.
Yeah.
So patience with us, please.
Yeah.
Because we're still trying to find our pink through all this. Do you know what that means? Finding your pink?
I'm white right now.
I'm still missing parts. I was telling my mom the other day, I'm like, I don't feel fully like myself, but I feel like I'm getting there. And that's nice.
Can I say that you never return back to yourself?
You never, I mean, I would understand that because I feel like everything changes.
Yeah.
Like,
In a good way. I think it's supposed to bring out a new version of you.
the necessary version.
Yeah.
Take care of your kid, take care of yourself. Like, I don't know, but we'll see. But guys, we will see you when we see you. We hope you guys like this episode. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. We want to continue putting out content. And we just so appreciate you guys, even in waiting for this next episode, all the support you've already given us, all the amazing things, amazing feedback. And we'd love to hear your stories as well. So please share them with us. Like, we love you guys already. And if anything, like Dak tells us, like, we're not really doing this for the views, even though that'd be cool. It's like the story and sharing that and hearing it back and being able to relate and feel that love and comfort from each other. Like, that's why we want to do that or do this.
Yeah.
So yeah, anything else, Steph?
No, let's shoot up our hearts so we can do the thingy again. Bye, guys.
Peace.